Assalamualaikum to my beloved lecturer, Madam MARDZIYANA. Today we would like to explain issue on wakaf in community. First, wakaf is Islamic endowments is one of the most important socio-economic institutions in Islam. It falls under the category of sedekah, which is charity and is recurring in nature. The jurisdiction for wakaf are derived from the Al-Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet. In general, the wakaf need to fulfill three primary constraints, which are the one endowing the wakaf and its subsequent maintenance should sequester the principal and allocate the proceeds to charity. The endowment should legally be removed from commodification such that it is no longer on the market. And its sole purpose must be charitable and the beneficiary group must be named. As we know, wakaf have many types. Firstly, wakaf khairi, which is general. This wakaf is dedicated to supporting the general good and welfare of the poor, the needy, public utilities such as schools, college for education, scientific research, shelter houses for orphans and wayfarers, and hospitals, which is provide free service for the sick and poor. In other words, if the recipients of the benefits are the public, it will be classified as wakaf khairi, which is general wakaf. Secondly, wakaf fi ahli, which is family. The wakaf fi ahli is a private wakaf. In India, it is known as wakaf al-awlad, which is wakaf for children, singular walad or child. In other words, the beneficiaries are either a specific person or person characterized by the founder or any other specific persons. This type of wakaf is endowed initially upon oneself, one's children and one's relative. Thirdly, wakaf mushtarak, which is wakaf mixed. It is actually a combination of wakaf khairi and wakaf fi ahli. Usually, under this type of wakaf, the endower, which is wakif, will specify the target beneficiary, usually the descendants, and later assign the benefit to broader welfare purposes. Fourthly is wakaf istibdal, which is wakaf exchange. It happens when there is an exchange of existing wakaf asset with other asset, maybe in another place or due to certain reasons such as the wakaf asset becoming unproductive or unprofitable. The property would be sold and the proceeds would be used to buy more profitable asset for the wakaf. Although warranted, istibdal is sometimes misused in some cases. Finally, cash wakaf or wakaf share. Cash wakaf is a special type of endowment and it differs from the ordinary real estate wakaf in that it is original capital. Meanwhile, cash wakaf is usually formed as a financing method to develop wakaf property or to support and build an educational institution such as schools or universities or orphanage houses. The wakaf will receive cash instead of property or land, and it will use it for the financing instead of relying on banks or financial institutions. In Malaysia, the cash wakaf is also known as share wakaf, which is wakaf saham. All involve immovable properties except for cash wakaf or wakaf share, where the cash is endowed as wakaf. Only wakaf fi ahli is not available in Malaysia. Wakaf falls under the state jurisdiction as stated in the federal constitution of the country that all Islamic matters is under the state. Only Islamic matters in the federal territories are under the federal government. Wakaf is also utilized for employment development, store distribution, city defense, education, fruitfulness and free water. 1/3 of overall annual income comes from the wakaf. Next, I will explain the issue regarding wakaf property. The issue is about the abandoned wakaf assets and land. From my research, I get the information that there are almost 33,000 acres of wakaf land and until 2015, only 7% from it were being developed. The remaining of 93% still not being productive. As we know, when there is an undeveloped property, it will become a burden to the future generation. A significant portion of land still untouchable once it becomes a wakaf.
As mentioned before, there are many undeveloped of wakaf property in Malaysia. This undeveloped of wakaf property can be solved by using wakalah contract. Wakalah refers to a contract in which a person who has complete legal capacity authorize another to conclude a certain well-defined permissible contract on behalf of that person. There are two contracting parties in this wakalah contract, which is first, the principal, also known as muwakil, and the second is agent, known as wakil. Since the Prohibition Enactment 1911 was applied in most of the states of the Malaysian Federation, by the time it was repealed in 1978, the modern Malaysian wakaf system was in shambles. Not only the system itself, but also the attitude of the ordinary Malay Muslim were negatively affected. At the twilight of their rule in Malaya, the British dealt a final blow to the Malay wakaf by initiating a process of massive centralization. A series of laws enacted in the 50s drastically centralized the Malaysian wakaf system. Among the pertinent clauses, the following particularly attract attention, which is the Council or Islamic Religion or the Majlis Agama Islam and Adat Melayu is the sole trustee of all wakaf properties. But in this modern era, when there are so many wakaf property in Malaysia, the State of Islamic Religious Council can appoint wakil or call it as agent, such as Yayasan Wakaf Malaysia, which was established in 2008, is among the government agency that authorized to manage wakaf asset. With this contract, agency that appointed by State Islamic Religious Council need to develop the wakaf properties properly to make benefit to the people. There are a few features of agency contract, which is first is the capacity of the principal. In this contract, he must be the age of majority, which is 18 years above, and must be of sound mind. Since in a contract of agency, the agent need to build a contractual relationship between the principal and the third person. It is necessary for them to be competent to make the contract. Second is the capacity of the agent. The capacity of an agent in a contract of agency is immaterial. Any person can become an agent between the principal and the third person. In any other words, any person, minor or otherwise incompetent to contract is competent to create a valid contract between his principal and the third person. Last is legal binding. The principal is legally bound to the acts done by the agent in the same manner as he has done that act by himself.
Now we move on to product structure of wakalah. Wakalah must be based on 4 pillars, which are the principal as the muwakil, an agent as the wakil, subject matter of an agency, and the agreement, which will be in term of offer and acceptance. Alright, the first step in this contract was bank, who represent a wakil, can specify the expected return on customer deposits by investing in selected instruments for an agreed upon wakil fee. Afterwards, the wakil will then make an investment in order to generate a return, which will be done on behalf of the clients that are known as muwakil. In return for rendering the agency service, the operator is permitted to charge a fee under the agreement. The fee is payable from the takaful contribution paid by the participant. After deducting the wakil fees, the muwakil specifies the expected return from the investment, and wakil is required to source an investment to achieve the expected returns. Wakil will keep any profit that exceed the agreed upon return as an additional incentive. In the event of default, the muwakil shall bear all risks and losses except those risks and losses caused by the wakil's misconduct or negligence. Our life, there is always an advantage of acquiring something. Therefore, the advantage of contract agency was a portfolio of assets could include a wide variety of Sharia-compliant assets will be selected by the wakil for a period of time corresponding to the duration of the sukuk. The criteria for the asset that may be included in the portfolio must be set or approved by the relevant Sharia. Moreover, it allows the originator, which may also be the wakil, to build its balance sheet by acquiring the investment comprised in the portfolio and to utilize those investments as underlying asset for a sukuk issuance. Okay, lastly, contract of agency enables the originator to utilize certain assets that cannot be traded on the secondary market, such as murabaha and istisna contract. These products are debt arrangement and are financial asset, and as such, they are unsuitable as underlying asset for a sukuk issuance for trading purposes. Therefore, the wakalah structure may be particularly useful for Islamic bank and financial institutions which tend to have a large number of commodity.
The problem in developing wakaf land and building are not new. It is high time that these long-standing problems require quick and proactive actions by all parties, including the government, legal institution and others. The suggested strategies for developing wakaf property should be given appropriate attention to revitalize wakaf institution, as the wakaf can act as a catalyst to strengthen the Muslim society in developing the economy and wealth to the nation.